Well, 200 miles away from his home in Indianapolis, the unthinkable happens. A man has a medical emergency, and he was saved by the miracle of just two hands.
Wish TV's News 8's medical reporter, Dr. Mary Gillis, brings us the story of survival.
This football, by the way, is autographed.
Jim England loves football ever since graduating from The Ohio State University in 1973. He and his buddy Bob made a pact. They'd return to their alma mater for at least one game each year. In the fall of 2011, Jim and Bob were driving from the stadium to a nearby bar to celebrate the Buckeyes' win, when suddenly
I just totally blacked out, and my buddy who was driving looked over at me. Fortunately, I was riding shotgun, so I wasn't driving. He said I was making all these really bad, really weird noises, and it looked as though I was struggling to breathe.
Jim was having a heart attack when doctors called the Widowmaker. Bob quickly pulled to the side of the road and opened the passenger side door. Jim rolled lifelessly onto the sidewalk.
Picture this, Jim lying unconscious on the sidewalk, minutes away from perhaps never waking up, until a stranger walked by and saved his life using just his two hands.
The stranger started doing CPR, taking turns with Bob and then a police officer who also came to the scene. Jim says this is the very reason he is alive today.
Getting CPR within 2 minutes of the onset of this event definitely is what saved my life.
The COVID-19 pandemic has made learning CPR even more important. Many of those who had the virus suffer from heart conditions as a result. The American Heart Association has a new CPR method during the pandemic to avoid an infection but still save a life.
Hands-only CPR is just as effective as regular CPR. In addition to not doing mouth-to-mouth during this time during the pandemic, the American Heart Association recommends that you wear a mask and that you also lightly cover the victim's face with either a mask or a piece of cloth.
Jim survived that day to see his two daughters get married, spend more time with his wife, and meet his grandchildren.
If everything goes right, October 30th of 2021 will be the 10th anniversary. And that'll be a cool thing.
Marking 10 years where he's called every day a gift. Dr. Mary Gillis, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.